Good morning, everybody. It's Jim Feist in Las Vegas, joined again by Hank Goldberg. Congratulations last night. Hank, you had the right side in that game, and I did as well. Matter of fact, I had the total and the side, took 7.5 with the dog. So it was a nice night for me and my customers.
Yeah, well, most people wound up with a push on the game, and I think a lot of people wound up giving 6.5 when because that's the way the game ended up. So I don't know if I guess if you took the Rams and gave the 6.5, you were a winner.
I think the books got middled a lot on that game because the money was both sides. It went up, it went down. Most of the week it was 6.5, but then it got late money, and of course they got killed on the total. But on to college tonight, tomorrow, and then Sunday we've got a full card of NFL, and of course baseball season is getting right down to the end of it, and the playoffs will start next week.
Right. Yeah, basically the regular season is over as far as baseball is concerned. I think they're just playing for home field one week. But I think it's going to be the Yankees against Oakland in the American League. And the Yankees are playing the Red Sox this weekend, but those games don't mean anything. Next week, the playoffs will begin. It'll be interesting. St. Louis played their way out of it, and they kind of disappointed me. I liked the way they finished up the season, but in the end, they didn't have enough. So I thought he managed oddly because he had Gant going for him in his game, and he lifted him in the 5th inning. And he was pitching very well. I don't know why he took him out. And they lost the game 2-1.
Well, this whole theory about taking the starters out in the 5th, 6th inning, that's been the trend all year with most guys. So it's a very strange. The managerial moves that the teams are making today are much different than in the past. They got pitch counts and everything else, and they got 5-6 relievers they bring in. But that's the way it is. You got to live with it. He
had been pitching very well, and prior to that game, he had been pitching into the 7th inning. So I thought it was an odd time to take him out when they took him out, and the guy who came in immediately gave up the go-ahead run. Backfired on him.
It sure did. In the NFL this weekend, you got a 3-0 team, Miami Dolphins, back where your old hometown, going up to play with the Patriots, where they usually don't play very well. But the Patriots have put themselves behind the 8 ball a little bit. But, they get some players back, but they don't get them back this week. What do you think?
I saw I'm Never Right on Thursday night, Strager on the NFL channel saying that it's time to recognize Miami. And I think he's tight with the coach there because he's wrong. Miami is the phoniest 3-0 team imaginable. If you look at the teams they've beaten, they beat the Raiders, who are winless. They beat another team. They beat Tennessee when Tennessee was really battered and came in, and the third game they won was on a missed field goal. So they've beaten 3 teams that are questionable. And by the way, the Tennessee game was at home, and they have a history of of wearing teams out at home because of the extreme heat. Now they have to go on the road, and they have to play a team in New England where they have a horrible record up there, and they've lost. I think they're 1-9, something like that. Their last 9 games, the last 10 games up there. And their last 6 games, they've lost by an average of 18 points a game. They never play well up there. Now, New England has not looked good so far, but, they started off that way last year too. But, there are concerns about lack of quality receivers for Brady, and their defense hasn't been all that good. I think the Dolphins are going to get crushed this week.
They do have to figure out a way to get some wide receivers to help out, somebody to throw to. Gronkowski's been triple teamed as a result of not having many outs, and they do get some people back, but not this week. So, and this is a big division game. So, if New England were to lose to Miami'd have like a 3-game lead on them, and that would be they'd be fighting for a wild card almost. So that's I'm sure they're going to be motivated. The question is, do they have the full package?
Well, their third win was against the Jets, and that was a game which there was a botched kick and a late interception that the Jets threw. The Jets cost themselves that game. So the Dolphins have been very lucky in all 3 of their wins so far this year, and they have not played a quality teams yet. So this is you could say that at least New England has got a quality pedigree, and they're playing them up there where they never play well. And this will be a good barometer. The Dolphins do have good safeties, but the corners are questionable, and they don't have a good interior defensive line. I think New England will be able to run on them, and I think that'll set up Brady for in his passing game. But there's some other good games this week. Dallas goes home to play Detroit. I'll give you an interesting stat there, where when Ezekiel touches the ball 20 times, they're 17-4. And what happened in their game last week was that they fell behind early in the game, and that took them out of their running game. But they have to have a running game in order to be effective. And, Chicago gets Tampa Bay at home, and Chicago's defense is first rate. This will be probably the end of the Miracle Man, the Miracle Fitz, as their big money quarterback is back in camp. Philadelphia is Rentz. Does he need another game to get going? Tennessee's defense is pretty good. There's a lot of questions got to be answered. Is Cleveland ready to win another game? They're playing at Oakland. And New Orleans and the Giants is a good matchup. The Saints are a better team on the road than they are at home in the last couple of years. And Baltimore-Pittsburgh is a great matchup. So, and Kansas City goes to Denver on Monday night. We'll see if Mahomes can keep it going against a decent Denver defense.
After watching last night's game, you wonder about whether the defenses can even hold anybody down with all the rules seem to be favoring the offenses these days, and even a defense like Denver can be had if you're gonna take away their weapons.
Well, there weren't any penalties last night.
No, but then they just went up and down the field.
At least the Rams, in the final analysis, at least they had some sacks against the Minnesota quarterback.
They sure did.
So, and all these experts who kept saying, "Well, the Rams have no pass rush," didn't know what they were talking about.
Oh, I think the Rams look like the most solid team in football right now. Definitely, in pretty much every odds maker's eyes, they're the favorite to win the Super Bowl at this point. This is a long season ahead of us, and Jared Goff, number 1 pick in the draft a couple of years ago. A lot of people said he was going to be a bust. He don't look like a bust to me. He looks pretty damn good, and he hits a very accurate passer. His passer rating last night was over 158, which is the perfect passer rating. That's only happened once before. It was pretty incredible game to watch. There's a lot of stuff going on in the NFL. We got some big college games as well. Any of the college games stick out to you that they're exciting?
Yeah. I think Kentucky is playing very well right now. They play South Carolina. That's a good game. Duke is in the top 25 for the first time in memory, despite the fact that they lost their quarterback. They're home against Virginia Tech, and they're almost a touchdown favorite in that game. Ohio State, Penn State should be a heck of a game. That's at Penn State. Penn State beat Ohio State, I think, the last time they played, and that should be a tremendous game. There's some real good ones this week. West Virginia, Texas Tech is a good one. Florida, Mississippi State should be a good one. Southern Cal, Arizona. Stanford, Notre Dame. Stanford's on the road against Notre Dame. Notre Dame's got a real good team. They got a good defense. They've been playing very well. Stanford was lucky to win last week. That was a tough game for them. Now they have to go on the road and play a very strong defense, and Notre Dame is getting good play out of the quarterback position right now. And Oregon, Cal. A lot of good games this week.
Yeah, Washington BYU is even surprisingly good. That's
right.
There's a big point spread on the game, but BYU has been very solid so far this year. So there's a lot of good games in college. Hank, your plays are going to be up on the website, as mine are as well. I'm on a 9-game winning streak in the NFL, so my last 9 selections that I've given out have all won. So I hope to keep that going. Baseball, I have 1 play today, which is, actually I said I wasn't going to make any more baseball plays until the playoffs, but I saw one today that just looked too good to pass up, so I had to put that out. So your plays are going to be up there. Anything going on in horse racing this weekend that you're going to be looking at?
It's a big stakes day at Belmont. There's a $750,000 stakes race, and it's a Grade 1. And then there's the Joe Hirsch stakes race, which we talked about the other day. So, and then next weekend there are 2 major stakes races at Keeneland. So, as we get close to the Breeders' Cup, there's a couple more winning your in events coming up, and Santa Anita they're getting ready for the fall Del Mar Stakes, or fall Del Mar meet coming up. So it's an active time for horse racing right now.
Think about it. The NBA is starting to, they're starting to play, get ready for their season. A lot of NBA stuff in the news. You got the horse racing. You got baseball going into the playoffs. You got college football, pro football. This is really an exciting time. And right around the corner, of course, is going to be college basketball. So this is about the best time of the year if you want all excitement and activity and put your money in action. And if you do it right, it's a great return on investment. So go to JimFeist.com for Hank's plays and mine. They're going to be up and ready for you today, tomorrow, every day. Lots of articles, podcasts, everything right there. JimFeist.com. Hank, thank you again for everything today. Thanks for your time.
Okay. This should be a great weekend.
You really should. I'm excited.